Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna make kimchi. It's a nice Korean fermented cabbage. So what you're gonna need is some napa cabbages, some radishes, some spring onions, one onion, some good old garlic, some ginger, carrots, some Korean chili flakes which you can buy online. You'll need some rice flour as well, some sugar. I use brown sugar, some fish sauce, and you're going to need a lot of salt. And finally, you're going to need some jars which you're going to add the kimchi to so that it can ferment. So we'll start off with salting the cabbage, which we're going to leave overnight. Okay, so we're going to start by just trimming off a little bit of the end here, like so. And we're going to do an incision like that. And we're going to put the cabbage like that. And we're going to do another incision here. And we're going to tear that apart like that. Then we're going to move it all into a big kind of bucket. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add salt in between all the leaves. Okay, like so. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, it's all been salted. I've put a bit of water, sprinkled a bit of water on top to start the process. I leave this overnight usually, but you should. So now that the kimchi has been soaking in the salt all night, it's been dehydrated, so it should be bendable like this. Very nice and flexible. What you do now is you throw it into water, you give it a good clean, thorough clean, get all the excess salt off it, like this. And then you give it a good squeeze, get all the water out. And then you put it in a sieve to continue draining, like so. Okay, so next we're going to prepare our vegetables. So we're going to have a big radish, we have our spring onion, an onion, and we have some carrots. So the best thing to do is just peel and clean them. So now we take the radish and we cut thin layers like this. So next on the list is the carrots. So I'm going to use a couple of carrots. I used one whole radish, so we're making a big batch. Put about 5 carrots here. Same process, we're just going to peel them and then make matchsticks. Okay, so we have our carrot and radish. Now we're going to add to the mix some spring onions. Alright, so the next step is to make a puree. So I put about 8 cloves of garlic in there. We're going to mix it up, blend it up. Chunk like this of ginger. This is maybe 4 teaspoons. Just give it a little pre-cut. And then 1 whole onion. And just kind of quarter these so that they blend easier. And give it a blend. Now we're going to make a little bit of a porridge, which is going to help to keep the spice and everything onto the cabbage. So what we need here is 2.5 tablespoons of rice flour and 2 or 3 cups of water. And you're just going to move that around, let it dissolve. Break it up, make sure there's no lumps. Just get those lumps. So when it starts to boil like this, you add in 2.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. Stir that in. This is going to help with the fermentation process. Okay, now once that's all mixed in, you just take it off the heat and you let it cool down. Alright, so once the porridge is cooled down a bit, add it to the mix here, and you add your mixed up ginger and garlic and onion puree. Then add half a cup of fish sauce. And then we're going to put in half a cup of fermented shrimps. You can get this online or any Asian store. Just squeeze the juice out. Okay. And then we're going to just chop up the little shrimp into smaller bits. Add that in to the mix. And then finally, we're going to use the hot pepper flakes. 1 cup is the basic amount. I'm going to use 1.5. Now we're going to mix this all together. Try this better with the hands. So now comes the important part. We're going to take our cabbage that we salted the night before, and it's dried out nicely now. And we're going to dip it in here and make sure that we put this kimchi mix in between everywhere. So all the little nooks and crevices, like so. So it looks like that. You're going to fold it up and you'll put it in your sanitized glass jar. So here we are, these 3 batches of kimchi. What you want to do, it's very important, once you fill it all in, you just want to push it down. Make sure that it always, you want to push it down like that. Make sure you get air pockets out. Just do a bit, it's not too important, but it helps with the fermentation. So now, we can just clean up the sides a bit so it looks nice, and we can close our jars, and there you go. So here's our lovely kimchi now all jarred up. We're going to put this in a dark place, so for me I'll put it in my cellar, and we're going to let it sit for 3 to 4 days. Very important is that you open the jars and let them burp every day, because there's going to be gases building up due to the fermentation, and if you don't do that you risk that your jar might explode. Okay, so here we are on day 4. As you can see, you can hear it already. Let's take a look. I'm going to remove the pressure now. Oh, look at that. Okay, now that is a sign of extremely good fermentation. Look at the bubbles. That is really, really good kimchi. See the bubbles? Beautiful. So the others will obviously be the same. And that's how you do successful kimchi, people. Good luck. Enjoy.